here we have a Game Boy Advance SP that is unfortunately one of my old consoles that I sold that came back because it's not charging. And I test every single one of these consoles before I sell them. Well, when I make them, before I sell them, and before I ship them. And it was charging when it left, but it does not want to charge. It just orange light on, orange light off. So we're going to tear this down, get under the hood, and see what's wrong with this thing. I have a feeling I know what it is, and that's why I already have these out. I think it's just the charging coil. So we'll open this bad boy up. And yeah, I've changed the charge port and the link port on this thing. So it might very well just be the charge port. This is a dingy one, so it's definitely seen better days, but I've done a lot of work to it. I can see. Flip it over, and I have not replaced the charging coil on this before, but like I said, I have replaced the charge port, so I know it's not the charge port. It is brand new, along with the L&R buttons. But I'm going to quickly desolder this wire, and then we're going to get the hot air gun out and blast this into next Tuesday. And boop, we are also going to get some Kapton tape going for this. And all I'm going to do is do that to protect this, really just that part. The rest of it shouldn't be too hard. I shouldn't knock anything else off or melt anything. Hopefully I don't melt the charge port. And I'm going to turn it up to 430C, put some flux down all around EM8 here. Probably get a new one out. Oh, and get the very last of this strip for the new coil out. And all I'm going to do is heat this up. I'm going to put the flow rate a little bit lower because I don't want to knock these three other components off. I just want to heat up the solder, and I'm just going to lightly grab it. I'll zoom in a little bit here. It's this guy, and I'm going to get the fan going so I don't set the fire alarm off, and then we can just lift that up. Super simple. I'm going to keep that flowing while I grab the new one. Oh man, I just knocked this off. So knock that back into place. And then I'm just gonna grab the new one again, drop that sucker down, and then try and coax it into place. And I think I got it. Problem is, I think we also, it's only slightly melted. The plastic, you can kind of see it, is melting from underneath the metal, but the plastic we actually care about is not melted. Whoop, you can smell the melted plastic though. I'm gonna let this cool down, which I will do so by putting the opposite side of the fan on the board while this gets cooled down as well. I'll see you in a couple seconds. I am seeing a little bit of discoloration from the heat on this connector, but as long as it's not like actually melted, we should be fine. Didn't rip any components off with the tape either. That's good. But we can zoom out a little bit here. Then we can oddly hold this with the pins to it like that. And then I should be able to plug it in. That's the link port. And it still goes out. Okay. So if not charge coil, what is it? Let's see here then. Is it one of the fuses? Okay, the fuse. That fuse is good. I'm pretty sure this fuse, honestly, I think either of the fuses the console wouldn't turn on. Yeah, that fuse is good too. Okay. Age-old question. Does it connect to over here? It doesn't. Look at that. So I guess, well, that just doesn't make sense. So here's the thing. Another common issue with SP boards is sometimes the connection from the positive line to over here in this lethal area right here. It's kind of hard to see when it's all shaky like this, but I believe it's this lower via right here needs to connect to here on the charge thing. So you just solder a little jumper wire there, and usually you're charging again. But the thing with that I don't understand is if that does solve it, it would make me think I never tested it. Like a connection like that doesn't just like break randomly. I don't know. Like it would make sense because this board is like dingy enough that the connection, because there's a connection underneath the cart slot that breaks. Typically, is how this gets disconnected. but I feel like I would have had to never tried charging this, and that's just not something I do. Like, I don't feel that horribly at my job, but maybe I just made a mistake because I am not perfect. Shocking, I know. Unless there was like moisture in the, I don't know. I'm not even gonna speculate here. But what I am gonna do is take my screwdriver and put it on that bottom via and spin it a couple times so we can remove that coating so I can then actually solder my jumper wire to it. And it looks like we made that connection. Boom. And now we can just disconnected. I don't believe we're actually connecting to the resistor. I think we're just connecting to the via. But now I'm kind of second guessing myself. Is it the upper one or the lower one? Well, I guess we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't break anything to test it this way. If this doesn't work, I'm going to try the other via. And if that doesn't work, then I have no idea. Nope. It was just that bottom via needed that connection again. So I guess it is possible. Maybe I rushed this one. I don't know. But it charges. Because like I just don't see. I feel like this is something that only breaks after like a long term thing of like it sitting. I just don't see this happening from me shipping it, from like me modding it and testing it, shipping it out, and the customer getting it. I don't know, but yeah, that was it. So I can neatly tidy this up. So I can do it hopefully this way around all of this. There we go. Okay, cool. Very nice. And I should, oh, well, I guess there's more soldering to do. So it's got a brand new charging coil and all of that. But really, the only thing we needed to do was bridge that connection. But hey, a new charging coil isn't a bad thing. And as you're watching me put all this back together in a time lapse, I would just like to remind you that you can buy this very Game Boy or something like it or something completely different from my website right now, retroremaster.com. And battery's low because the customer couldn't charge it. That's why they returned it. And all of the buttons seem to work still. Perfect. And can we charge? Now that it's put back together, we are still able to charge. Cool. Everything works like it should have been from the start. Well, honestly, I'll just take the blame on this one. I think I just missed that and somehow through all of the phases of testing forgot to test the charging part. I don't know, man. That just doesn't seem like me. But I'll take the blame. All right, that's it for this one. Bye.